I have to wonder if Lori Harvey read her father's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, because if she's thinking like a man, now I understand why she ain't got one. Coming to Kickstarter this June, John Haynes at Death's Door, the man who rules the world, takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the standard and variant editions of John Haynes at Death's Door and lots of other great stretch goal rewards on Kickstarter this June. Actor Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, the daughter of Steve Harvey, announced that they were breaking up last weekend. And according to reports, it was an amicable split, and the reason for the breakup was because Lori Harvey wasn't supposedly ready to take the next steps in their 1.5 year relationship, which possibly would have been an engagement or a marriage. Now, your Lori Harvey, according to some reports, who at 25 years old wasn't ready for a serious relationship because she still wanted to have fun and be free. And she wanted to focus on her career and did not want to commit to the 35-year-old Michael B. Jordan because even though they had a 1.5 year relationship, she wasn't really serious about committing to a man at this time. Now, when I take a critical examination of your Lori Harvey, it looks like she's making the exact same mistake many women have made over the last 60 years that I talk about in depth in my book, The Woman Crisis. And what happens to many women who are Lori Harvey's age is that they believe the feminist lie that they have all the time in the world. Now, since the late 1960s, one of the biggest lies that feminists have told women is that they have the same amount of time that men have in their lives. Unfortunately, they don't have the same amount of time in their lives, and many women wind up throwing away the best years of their lives, which is their early 20s, and they wind up missing out on opportunities to find a husband and start a family. And it looks like Lori Harvey has made that same mistake because listening to her statements saying that she wasn't ready to take the next steps in a relationship and commit to Michael B. Jordan in a possible marriage shows me that she has bought into the white feminist rhetoric, and because she's bought into the white feminist rhetoric, she believes that time works the same for a woman that it does for a man. And that is one of the biggest lies that feminists have told women, that time works the same for a woman that it does a man. Now, back before feminism, women were told about their biological clocks, and they were told that those biological clocks are ticking. And they were told that if they wanted to get married and have children, they needed to do this before they at least became about 30 years old. Now, your Lori Harvey, she wants to go out here and have fun and be free. And what's sad is she has possibly thrown away the best opportunity she has had at finding a partner that is possibly on her level. Because your Michael B. Jordan basically is the ideal that many women covet. He is what they call, in some social circles, that high value man who has the six figures and the lifestyle that would be able to take care of a woman like Lori Harvey. But your Lori Harvey, thinking that she has all the time in the world, believes that she can go out here and get a better deal. This is something I also go in depth in my book, The Woman Crisis. Many women will throw away a man like a Michael B. Jordan who meets the qualifications and criteria for a good husband, thinking that they can get a better deal once they get older. However, those prospects wind up shrinking as a woman winds up getting older because at 25, your Lori Harvey is in the prime of her life, and the prospects for quality men who would make a quality husband, this is where she needs to make a deal. Unfortunately, she is holding out thinking that she can get a better paying job and get a higher social status position, and she's thinking she can go out here and be able to wager a better deal once she gets older. Unfortunately, there won't be any better deal than a Michael B. Jordan, because as your Lori Harvey gets older, the pool of men is going to shrink. And as that pool shrinks, because some of these men wind up passing away, and others wind up getting married and start having their own families, then your Lori Harvey is going to realize that your Michael B. Jordan was a good deal, and sadly, she has missed out on that deal because she wants to have fun and be free. Unfortunately, there is a price to pay for having fun and being free, because all of those years that you spend having fun with the hot girl summers, chasing after the Pookies and the Ray Rays, you wind up putting wear and tear on your body, you wind up putting wear and tear on your mind, and the chances of you finding a so-called better deal for a man, they wind up dwindling, because all of those men of character are going to say that, all right, this woman has already been out here having fun with me, but this woman is not really showing me why she should be wife material. So your Lori Harvey, she doesn't understand that she doesn't have as much time as she thinks she does, and every second that she has focusing on having fun and being free and putting her career over a possible husband prospect is going to lead to her winding up further down the road to becoming single for the rest of her life, and possibly on the dark road to bust downtown. Because when you have women who go out here and pass up quality men for this whole prospect of having fun and being so-called free, they wind up not on the dark road to bust downtown, and on that dark road they find all of the other older women who want to have fun and be free, but all of those women are lonely and miserable, because yes, they had fun in the later part of their 20s, but as they got in their 30s, they sat there dwelling, thinking about the good man they let slip through their fingers, because they wanted to have the good times with the hot girl summer, the girls' trips, and the trips to the clubs and the bars, where they got turned out by all of the players and the hustlers, and they wound up hustling themselves right out of a good marriage, where they would be at the side of a good husband who would be leading them on a road to building a family where they would be having children and focusing on doing the work of the Most High. That's what a woman in her 20s who is following God is going to do when she is presented with a husband who was looking to work towards building with her. She was going to want to submit to that man, but it looks like to me your Lori Harvey isn't interested in submitting to Michael B. Jordan, because it looks like she is either scared of committing to this man, or she doesn't think she is worthy of your Michael B. Jordan. These are the two reasons why many women wind up walking away from a man who looks like he meets all of their criteria. One, they are scared to commit to this man because they fear they would have to submit to his leadership, and because they are afraid of committing to his leadership, what happens is they start thinking about their little past moments about so-called having fun and being free, or they start thinking about focusing on a career, things that if she submits to this man under the Most High and seeks the kingdom of God, she could have all of the fun she wanted at the side of her man, and she could have a very prosperous career at the side of her man in a small business that works to support that man's business. She could have a lot of prosperity with a husband, but because this woman is afraid of submitting to a man under God's natural order. She would rather be free in the world, and she would rather be free out in that world to have fun with the devil. That's what happens to many women out here. They are so afraid of submitting under God and being covered by God and under His protection that they wind up throwing away a man who wants to work with them, a steward who wants to protect them, a steward who wants to provide for them and make them a wife. They don't want that because they fear that if they submit to this man will either betray them or leave them, and that is what's got them scared of submitting. They fear that the relationship will fall apart, but they don't understand if this man is under the Most High and is a servant of the Most High, he is going to love her as he loves himself. And if he wants to commit to her, then he must love this woman because he's looking for a wife. And when a man looks for a wife, he is looking for someone who he is not looking to throw away. He is looking for somebody who he wants to spend the rest of his life with. And the other reason why many of these women want to leave a man when he wants to commit is because many of these women don't feel like they're worthy of that man. Now, Black Male Advice TV, aka Ringo, talks about this in depth in one of his classic live streams, and I've seen this myself with many women. Their self-esteem is so low that when they get a good man, a man ready to commit to them, what they do is they don't feel like they're worth it, and they find ways to sabotage the relationship because they feel like they don't deserve a quality man. And that again goes back to their low self-esteem and their low self-worth, and it goes on to their lack of self-confidence and their lack of self-esteem about themselves. They don't feel like they deserve a quality man, so they look to try to find a way to destroy that relationship with that man because they don't feel that they should have this kind of relationship. They feel like they're worthless. They feel like they aren't worth anything, and they feel like they have basically, or that this relationship is not something that they deserve. So they look to destroy that relationship, not understanding opportunities like this are blessings from God. They are blessings from the Most High, and they are God giving you a head to look out for you, a head to protect you, a head to provide for you, and you have an opportunity to be able to be built up and lifted up by this man. Unfortunately, many of these women out here, they don't feel like they are worthy of a man who will lift them up. They don't feel like they are worth anything, so they wind up breaking up a relationship, hoping again to get a better deal. Unfortunately, what happens in both cases is you get females who get a raw deal because there isn't anything better than who the Most High has provided for you, and oftentimes the Most High will give you a quality man. Unfortunately, many women, due to their issues, they wind up walking away from that man, hoping to go out here and find something better along the way as they're having their fun, being free, having their girls' trips, having their hot girl summers, and going out here and being turned out by Pookie and Ray Ray as they drop the skid mark thong for these guys and then wind up with a whole bunch of bodies on with these men, and then they're not in a place where they're ready to go out here and get married. So this Lori Harvey basically has lost a major opportunity, and I believe your Lori Harvey, if she does not find a quality man, will be sitting back 20, 25, 30 years from now in that apartment in Bust downtown with the view of the graveyard, sitting there thinking about the opportunity she had to marry Michael B. Jordan and wondering why she threw the opportunity away. I mean, here's a guy at 35 years old. This man is in the prime of his career, in the prime of his life, is in good health, and is one of the most popular men in the world. what your Lori Harvey at 25 years old, because she probably did not get good guidance, doesn't know what she has, and is just about to throw away what some would believe to be a quality man. And now she's going to regret this because, again, marriage propositions don't come that often. Marriage proposals don't come that often for women these days, and your chances of finding another guy to go out here and want to build a marriage with you, this is not going to come that often. Many of these women who think they all have all the time in the world think they're going to find another dude at 30, 35, 40, but those guys are slim to none, especially when it comes down to black men. And your Lori Harvey has basically blown a major opportunity, and she has gone from taking these steps to building a marriage and a family to taking a step down the dark road to bust downtown and heading into apartment 3C right next to Halle Berry and right across the hall from other bust downs who are in Hollywood. And the thing is, Lori Harvey doesn't have to be on the road to bust downtown. She could have taken a road straight to marriage and a family, and she could have had a successful relationship. But sadly, what happened here was, I guess, she read her father's cornball book, Act Like a Lady, Go Out Like a Chump, instead of reading my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, because had she read Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, she would see that she's on the dark road to bust downtown that I talk about in my upcoming book, The Woman Crisis, and she's going out here again looking for a better deal. But I feel that in 5 to 10 years, she'll be lamenting passing on Michael B. Jordan and realizing that she is the one who's about to get the rawest deal in Hollywood by dropping and passing by a quality man in order to look for a better one that does not exist. Now, I'm going to be talking in depth about women and the bad decisions that they make in my upcoming book, The Woman Crisis, coming this fall. But I go over a lot of this information about women like Lori Harvey in my upcoming book, in my book that's currently available, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and you can find that book on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Smashwords, the iBook store, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Horror of a Hyena Woman. Hell's Aspiring Angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Horror of a Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today.